Welcome to Kick on Sports. This is Coach Charles in the house. Now, this is another preview for Manchester United, the game against Manchester United and Burnley, because there's just so much to talk about. There's just so much about Manchester United that just makes talking about Manchester United become endless. These guys have just messed up in the league. They have just messed up in the Carabao Cup. So there's a lot to talk about. I don't know whether you feel me. There's just too much to talk about. You don't even know where to start because United are just a mess at the moment. There's just too much mess. But it's funny thing. All the coaches that have been at Manchester United are getting sacked all over. Eh? Jose Mourinho has been sacked by Besiktas, by Fenerbahce. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been sacked by Fenerbahce. So by Besiktas, so you wonder what is really going on. I don't know why I'm confusing those two, but they're both Turkish teams. They're both, I think, for Jose he missed the Champions League. That's why he's been dismissed by Fenerbahce. I think Ole also just lost his job. So this is crazy. I don't know what Manchester United can do. I don't know what is it with Manchester United that everything they touch or everything they've touched before just doesn't work. I hope it doesn't boil down to me. But anyway, I'm cool. I'm good. Now, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to Kick on Sports because we like looking at football in a layman's language, and that is exactly what we aspire to. And every day that we wake up, we think about Manchester United and how just a normal person will look at Manchester United. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just simple football analysis. Now, this past week has been very, very bad for Manchester United. First of all, they went to Fulham and just bottled the game. The energy was not there. It was there in the early days, in the early part of first half. But then the second half just whittled away. Everything just disappeared. The intensity, the shape, the desire, even shots on target, passes, there was just too much confusion. And that game, I think, just Manchester United messed up. The coach messed up, and that system keeps on coming up on everyone's lips. I was listening to Flex the other day, and he was so critical about this Ruben Amorim. Even his interview after the game at Grimsby, that was vindication. He was not vindicating himself. Basically, he was crucifying himself. It's like this guy has lost the dressing room. He's lost the players. The players do not play for him anymore. They do not believe in him. In fact, for the first time, I've seen Kobe make so many bad passes. A guy that is always very, very good on the ball. His passes, he's playing through the lines, in between the spaces, receiving the ball under pressure. This guy has been really, really good. But right now, the kid looks like he's confused. He doesn't even know where to be, how to pass that ball. He gave away so many balls. Up to a point I was asking, now what happens? Because if the coach was to substitute Kobe, that will also have brought an uproar. If the coach, since the coach left him, we saw so much that was just not right in that particular game. So Manchester United at this point in time are in a crossroad. In fact, we don't even know what is happening. Personally, I think Ruben Amorim is not fit for this particular club. He's not fit for the stature of the club because the club is too big. Remember this is a club that had big players and personalities like Roy Keane, Eric Cantona, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ryan Giggs, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Patrice Evra. You can remember those United players of old. Even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a player at Manchester United. Those days when Fergie was in charge. After Fergie left, it's like he never left a password for how to perform with Manchester United. All these big managers who've come to United have struggled. Look at Louis van Gaal. There's a point Louis van Gaal had almost 7, 8 players who are left-footed. Blind, Di Maria, Shaw. You can name that list. There were so many left-footed players. You are asking yourself, how are you going to line up? There was a joke about the lineup and how it will appear, where all the players will line on the left. So it becomes very crazy. Then we had Ole Gunnar himself. He came after Jose left. So Ole Gunnar tried his bit. At first he was very good. In fact, he beat all the big boys. In fact, that season Manchester United never lost to Manchester City because the team was in sync. The team was playing well. Then what happened? That performance just went down. Jose Mourinho himself was there. Yes, he won something with United, but We expected Jose to last, but he never lasted because things just went haywire. Everything was going wrong. Everything was going ballistic, and Jose had to leave. Then we brought the Austrian, Ralph Rangnick, who was supposed to be a genius, an advisor, somebody who was to provide that transition to the next stage and even become a football director. It never worked. But I remember he was very honest in his analysis of Manchester United, that the club needs a radical surgery. I don't know the exact words he used, but there was that surgical aspect of it, whereby we needed an open heart surgery. I think those were the words he used. And everyone just ran mad. Why would you say that? Manchester United coach cannot say that. It is wrong to say that. You are a Manchester United coach. You cannot say that. But this guy was very honest. And we are seeing all those things that he said coming to fruition because nothing is happening. The club has had to change managers, to bring in players, very expensive players. Imagine Manchester United at some point had Falcao, we had Zlatan Ibrahimovic, we had Cavani, we had Di Maria. These are players who are accomplished, guys who can bring trophies at any club. Even brought Cristiano Ronaldo back, but nothing is happening. Now Ruben Amorim is in a situation whereby he doesn't even know what to do. When a manager says that the players have talked loudly, the players have talked for me, it's like this manager has thrown the towel. He's decided that after this Burnley game, I don't think I need to be here. I need to be somewhere else. But as a young coach, Manchester United will kill his confidence and he will dip in his coaching career because it is crazy. Every day you wake up, you open the online stuff, it is always Manchester United. It is always Manchester United this, Manchester United that. And the fans are mad. I'm one of them. I love Ruben Amorim. I thought this guy will be just a breath of fresh air, like he'll bring new perspective, he'll bring new ideas. But this coach has stuck with one playing system. I have coached at a very low level, in a league that cannot compare with the Premier League. But this 3-4-3 and the way Manchester United apply it, I think it makes them so easy to play against. It makes them so easy to play against. Because at some point when they are being pushed back, where under pressure, you find an entire 7 players on the defensive line. So basically they give the opposing team a lot of room to play in. So this system is the problem. The coach may not have any other system in his database, but we can see that whatever he's trying to prove here cannot work. Because the club has given him players. He's been given very good players. Mbeumo, Cunha, Shesko, Diego. Those are good players. And we have Maino, we have Bruno, we have Zaxi, we have Mount. These are good players. Yoro is at the back, Delete, Maguire, Shaw. These are players who can play well. Dogu is there. Mazuru is there. These are good players that were brought into this club who can be able to play real good football. But this system is going to kill this guy because I don't see anything happening if he doesn't change this system. I don't see anything happening. Anyway, I'll remind you, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing because it is simple. Football is as simple as ABCD. Pass, I pass. Move, I move. That is what football is about, and that is exactly how we present it here at Kickonsports. Now, the Burnley game is gonna be. It's a do or die for Manchester United. In fact, it is crazy that we are discussing Manchester United in August, late August, and early September this intensely, because we expected United to just kick on, just like this particular channel, kick on. We expected everything to just kick on. Nothing is kicking on. Nothing. In fact, we are worried that if we continue like this, at the end of the week, we may be 9 points behind teams like Arsenal, even Tottenham. Because those are the teams that are likely to have complete points by the end of this particular third game week. Even Liverpool. That's why Manchester United is at a point whereby they can't afford to lose against Burnley. They have to deal with this Burnley the hard way. They have to go out of their way. The coach has to make bold decisions. If he has to change his system, so be it. If he has to play for the win, so be it. We don't want beautiful football. We don't want anything. All Manchester United fans want is a win. 3 points on the board, and that will take away a lot of pressure. Remember, the international break is here, and it is a long one. So it means that if we lose that game, Amorim will have so much time thinking about what is done. It will kill him. It will basically kill him. So it is simple. Burnley cannot beat us at Old Trafford. Burnley cannot win at Old Trafford under all costs. The coach has to make sure this does not happen. The players are there. The system is the problem. The application is the problem. Too much details when football is about pass and go. Pass and go. Pass and follow. Ruben Amorim either has complicated the system that the players even don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And it is time to let Šeško start at the very beginning. This is my advice to Ruben Amorim. Just change that bloody system. Just play 4 players. The minute you play 4 defenders, you earn yourself an extra midfielder. You know, someone like Kobe Manu can come in. Someone like Mount can come in, and you can still play Šeško, Cunha, and Mbeumo in the same team. You know, I don't think these players will need so much to understand the 4-3-3 system, or the 4-2-1, or the whatever, as long as we have 3 midfielders. And if you don't have 3 midfielders at against Burnley, you're gonna struggle, because every team, including Grimsby, whatever the name is, a small club and in a town whose population is equal to that of Old Trafford. You know, this is not acceptable. This is not right. This is not the future of Manchester United. So it has to change. Something has to change. So that is how I look at it. The coach has to make some bold decisions. We like Amorim. Personally, I love Amorim. But hey, I love Manchester United more. If the coach has to go, so be it. You know, and that is what we are looking at this moment in time. So this is a preview of the Manchester United Burnley game, a game that United must just win. Consider subscribing to Kickonsports. Share this video widely. Give me a comment. Let's discuss. Are you okay, or are you mad? What makes you so mad about this Manchester United team? See you in a bit.